Hey, guys.
Welcome to the podcast.
You want to hear something awesome? We don't think our boss is coming to work today.
Well, it's not awesome because he doesn't feel good, but
Nikki,
he's not coming in.
Nikki, due to his placement above us in the organizational chain,
We're supposed to feel that.
It's perfectly acceptable for us to celebrate his sickness.
But our boss always says that, and then he always comes in anyways. So I'm willing to bet, eventually he shows himself sometime today.
I want to see if he does or not, because in the number of years I've worked here, I'm sick all the time. Michael's never, even if he's dead.
He's sick. He just never takes sick days.
He'll come in on a respirator with an IV drip bag, whatever, and he's just like, what? I'm just working. What do you care?
I don't know why, but
I don't know why or how he does that. But then today, he's not here, which means he must be really
I know, and it's hard to have him as the example then, because then you always look at him like, okay, well, he still comes in sick, and then when we're sick, you feel bad, but you're like, we're sick, so well.
And I've been the sickest. I've been out 100 times this year already.
I know
it's only March.
You've already been out so many times.
So let's talk about today's podcast. Brocheting is a thing. We talk about Big Bang Theory, cookie licking, Toy Story 4, flat earthers, Disney, Fox, Nikki, and organization.
Mm-hmm.
That's the show.
That's it. That's the podcast today.
That's the podcast. So I hope that you guys all enjoy it.
We think there's cake in the fridge, so we're going to go
bunt cakes.
I wonder if someone brought them in.
I don't know, but we need to find out.
And then there is cake coming up. We celebrate RadioU.
Birthday.
Yeah, RadioU's birthday's on Friday. We're the RIOT on RadioU, so that's where that comes from. If you're just normally a podcast listener only, we have our RadioU network, which we're on, and we celebrate our birthday on Friday.
So you'll want to make sure that,
with cake.
You're part of that. And by part of that, I mean, go ahead and get yourself a cake.
Well, if you need to order it,
Order today.
Better to plan ahead, get that scheduled, and then you can eat with us on Friday.
Cake.
Have a good podcast.
Bye.
Dear RadioU, when I was a kid, my parents sent our dog to live on a farm in the country where he could run and play all day. I could ask them for the address if you need somewhere to send the riot. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU. Is the riot. Yahoo! Here they are.
It is the riots on RadioU. 8772 RadioU. I couldn't wait to get here this morning.
You were so excited?
And you're like, shut up, really? No, really. I was excited because yesterday I did something and I wanted to see what was going to happen.
Yeah.
As a result, because I just assumed it would escalate, but instead the sad part is I'm both excited and bummed that nothing happened.
What did you do, though?
Well, yesterday after the show, Nikki's mom placed 3 cookies on a plate.
She did.
Brought us cookies.
She did.
And those cookies were sitting in the break room, and I was like, I want a cookie.
And I feel like we should just point out they're not like normal cookies. It was
They're big.
Big sugar cookie that has like the buttercream icing decoration on the top. So these are pretty substantial cookies.
Yeah, so I went ahead and took one, and then I looked at the plate, and I was like, you know what? I want to try something. And I actually wasn't trying anything. I was just like, wouldn't it be funny if I left a note here that said that I licked one of these cookies and there's only 2 cookies? So that's what I did. I just wrote on the plate, I licked one of these cookies. Now, keep in mind that a cookie, the half-life of a cookie in the RadioU break room is approximately 3 seconds. But that little note that said I licked one of these cookies, those cookies were still there this morning.
Oh, they're still in there?
Yep.
You ruined them.
Without actually licking them.
Without doing anything.
It was just the threat of licking them was enough. But do you see what we've unlocked now?
Potential of a way to keep things in there that we want?
That's right. That's exactly right. How many times have we, bought muffins or donuts and we're like, surely there will be some left when we come back tomorrow.
And you're like, oh my gosh, the only things left is the box because no one wants to throw things away.
Because they're too lazy to throw it away. Well, now I feel like if you and I have something in the break room that we don't want anybody to touch, we don't put our name on it, we don't whatever, we just put, I licked half of this.
And then see what happens.
Done.
If not, why don't we do another, it's not a survey, it's a study, I guess, of our behavior.
Yeah.
Why don't you put the cookies back on a new plate with no writing and see how long they last?
Well, I already ate half of one.
Oh, that's all that's left?
Well,
maybe you should just keep them all.
There's 1.5 cookies left in there now.
Maybe you should keep them all. If you just give yourself time during the whole week, you'll just eat them.
To be clear, I like that solution.
That's no problem.
I do. I really do. But I'm genuinely a little surprised that I just kind of figured someone would be like, whatever, roll their eyes, eat a cookie. And instead, they're just like...
Words have power. And your words were powerful.
I guess they were. Like when people saw that and the threat of having a licked cookie was more powerful than the cookie itself.
See, when I looked at it, I thought, oh, he's just teasing. But then maybe the thought of if there's a possibility you did, even though I deep down know you didn't,
right.
From like a PR sort of standpoint, like you're not allowed to.
That's HR.
Oh, HR, yeah.
But I know what you mean. He's not allowed to lick other people's food.
And we've told him that before. So
this is not the first time.
If we have to have a meeting about it again, we will, but he's not allowed to.
Now we're going to have meetings that are like, you're not allowed to threaten people with licking their food.
So I think they knew it was still, not truthful.
It's just like that time. I've never dunked Nikki in the toilet, but dangling her over it.
That was threatening, and you're not allowed to do that. And now you know, and we got past that.
And you know what? Technically, half of what's in the employee manual right now has been added in response to various circumstances.
You don't know until you just get working together. Okay. You just don't know.
Section 3, paragraph 41, thou shalt not threaten to lick other people's cookies.
Now it's in there. Now
weird.
We know.
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on RadioU.
You know, The Big Bang Theory wraps up this year, Nikki.
The TV show.
Yeah, that thing's been on long enough for people to like it, stop liking it, like it again, and then stop liking it again.
I remember actually really liking it in the first couple of seasons, and then you stop watching a couple episodes, and before you know it, I feel like 8 years have gone by.
I have not been a fan of The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, you've long mentioned that.
Yes, because, and I will tell you why, because it's one of those things where they're taking cheap shots at my people.
Well, everybody assumes you would like it because that's a lot of the stuff that you like.
Mm-hmm. But I just see the exploitation of my people for financial gain to the normies. So
that's why you don't enjoy it.
I just can't be a part of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it got so big. Sometimes shows are a little better when they're not, the number one comedy on TV.
Well, Nikki, when everyone likes something, I'm sorry, I can't be a part of that.
Then you just can't like it anymore.
Then that means I'm not special for finding that little thing that I like. And I need to feel special.
But it does wrap up soon.
It does. It's wrapping up this year, and wow, CBS is setting up the Big Bang Theory finale to be big. And they want to go out with
the bang!
Hello!
That's the theory.
Hello!
That's what people are thinking. That's what people are thinking.
Okay, so they are selling ad time on the final episode of The Big Bang Theory.
I wonder how much it will go for.
That's cool, I can tell you.
Okay. Is it like Super Bowl numbers?
Not far off. So 30 seconds in the finale will cost you between 1.2 and 1.5 million.
That's kind of what I was thinking it would. That's a lot of money. That is so much money for a 30-second commercial.
The last episode is slated for broadcast May 16th.
Oh, that is soon.
And that is 5 to 6 times higher than what you would have paid during the regular run of the season.
Oh, a normal episode?
Right. So a middle of April Big Bang Theory episode, you're going to pay between, let's say, $250,000 for 30 seconds of ad time, which, by the way, that's a lot of money.
It does, but I mean, it is still one of the top comedies.
Right. So you put the big bucks down, but they're saying for this final episode, because when you do a finale like that, not unlike the Super Bowl, it'll be a cultural event. The show's run for 10 years?
That's actually what I was going to ask you. Did they say how many seasons?
I don't remember how many seasons. So when you look at some of the biggest finales in history, Seinfeld drew 76 million viewers to its finale on May 14th, 1998. MASH, the CBS comedy, 105.9 million viewers.
Well, that's different back then. There wasn't as much competition.
But cable was around. This is 1983. I don't know.
No, I just don't think it would be quite the same. But for Big Bang Theory, I think it's season 12. I think that's the final one.
Okay. So, this thing's getting ready to wrap up.
And if you have a a little change laying around, you want to do a 30-second commercial, a couple million.
If you can get 1 million friends together, you can buy yourself 30
That's just
seconds.
to buy the spot. I mean, you still have to spend a lot of money on making it, and you have to remember that part.
Man.
I'm not so much mad about what they say. I'm mad that they think any of us want to hear it. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Man, I want you to know that this might be my favorite thing that I saw last night, and it was making the rounds, so maybe you saw it. Nikki, are you familiar with brocheting?
Brocheting? Is it like crocheting for
bros?
For bros?
That's exactly what it's like.
Like you guys get together and do bro things and crochet?
Dude, there was a write-up about this guy named Ben. He's 23 now. When he was in high school, he suffered from, they said, anxiety that was really bad. And so his therapist said to him, like, you know what you need to do? You need to find a hobby that can kind of
keep you busy,
keep you busy, keep you moving. And so he said that he had a friend who was talking about starting a crochet club, and, you know, all the girls were going. So he was like, whatever, I'll go to a crochet club. And here he is 4 or 5 years later.
Still crocheting.
An established crocheter.
Hey, he's actually really good. He's making little stuffed animals and beanies, and that isn't a crop top. That's interesting.
All kinds of stuff. And I love the fact that he refers to it as brocheting.
Brocheting. So does he have a group of friends that come over and crochet with him, or is that just a term he came up with?
I don't know if he has a group of friends that come over and crochet with him, but that's...
I like people's text message. How much would you charge for shorts? Would you want crocheted shorts?
Wow.
Maybe.
So I love the fact, I mean, it's got to be frustrating if you're a girl that's been crocheting for years and you can't get any attention, and all of a sudden this guy comes along and you're like, oh.
Suddenly he gets all the attention with it.
All the attention.
It's funny. It's a great idea, though. It's true. It keeps him busy.
Yeah. So there it is. I guess what I'm really trying to say is that there's a whole market out there for you guys to start crocheting.
You have to find your thing.
Your thing.
You know, if you want to be popular with it, you know, be well known, sell some items, so you can order from him. He'll actually make you stuff.
Mm-hmm. You can.
And he doesn't mind being known as the crochet guy.
It's fine. I think it's amazing. I love it. And so, good for him.
Yes, good for him.
Nikki, brocheting, he has created a whole new thing.
A whole genre.
Do you crochet? Do you even crochet?
I don't.
Bro?
I didn't know we were supposed to.
I don't know.
I didn't know there was now something else that I'm supposed to be doing to make me cool enough. I didn't know crocheting was it.
See, the problem is, Nikki, you and I are chasing the internet. This guy's leading the internet.
That's true. There's a difference.
We got to find a way to lead, not chase.
The riot's motto, Carpe Cupcake. Those are words to live by. Radio U.
I don't normally go in for press conferences these days. I feel like the excitement over a press conference, I think we're way past that at this point.
It's long gone, but I mean, yesterday was one.
I have been very interested in what Google is going to do for gaming, because they say they're launching a cloud gaming service. And yesterday they had a press conference. They unveiled it, and it's called Stadia.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Well, my thought was, and I could be way off here, but it was like, is it the plural of stadiums?
Maybe.
Like Stadia.
Could be.
That's what I thought, that it was playing off of the name Stadium, but the idea of it being like, but it's everywhere. I don't know. But I do know this, that's their push. Is like, hey, you're going to be a part of our gaming service. You'll be able to play your game anywhere. Play it on your phone, play it on your TV, play it on almost any device. And this is the other thing I thought was interesting. It's basically built on YouTube. And that's kind of what their thing is. Like, we're streaming to you the way we would stream something on YouTube. And so you're using a controller to send, you know, input back to them, and then they're streaming it to you. And what they showed off yesterday, the piece of hardware that they're going to sell is a controller. Now, this I think is fascinating. This controller, rather than connecting to like your computer or your phone or whatever it is you're playing the game on, it has a direct Wi-Fi connection. So
not Bluetooth?
Your controller, right, will be connected to the server where the game is being played.
Oh, maybe that'll help with precision and stuff.
So it will cut down on latency, because it will actually be connected directly to the server instead of going through your device into the server.
Oh, that's actually quite interesting.
Now, they do say that you'll still be able to use a controller locally. So if you've got like an Xbox controller you want to plug into your TV or like however you want to do it, you can.
Sometimes with the growth of the popularity of everybody trying to push you towards this will be the new way to game, if you're going to have any lag, it might be with the controller.
Yeah. And so that seems to be their answer for
fix for that.
Yeah. A couple things that they promised was that when it launches, the new Doom game will be playable on Stadia, and they're also creating their own studio where they're going to be making their own games. So that's a thing. And they say that you'll be able to play up to 4K 60p. So that's 4K resolution, 60 frames per second. And so that could be good. That is a big deal because that is something that even unless you have an incredibly high-end PC, that's pretty much impossible. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult. Like for me, who I've got a decent PC, I can usually do 1080p at 60 frames or 4K at 30 frames. So to be able to do 4K at 60, pretty big deal.
Now they're saying that.
Right. Well,
we all know, we all have our, limitations with our phones, our devices, and our connections, but we'll see what we get.
Yeah, we will. I'm very curious about how this thing will work.
Seems like every day you're getting some sort of company that just wants to talk to you about their online, gaming and how you can play on any device.
I feel like the thing I want to know about it is what I always want to know.
What do you have to pay?
What's it going to cost?
If they're smart, they'll bundle it with all their YouTube stuff then.
I'm sure that'll be a thing. But my thought is, okay, do I have to buy games from you? So like, hey, the new Assassin's Creed came out.
Sure.
And I pay Google $60, but I can play it anywhere. Or do I pay Google $20 a month and I can play it anywhere?
That's a very important question. I can see that being something they're not showing quite yet.
Yeah, and part of the reason I'm concerned is you guys know Google, you may not know this, but as someone that uses a lot of Google services, they have a tendency to just up and cancel stuff.
Really? No.
So the idea that I gave them $60 for a game and they're like, we don't do that anymore.
If it doesn't do well enough, what would you do with the game?
I don't know.
That feeling when you hear that every school in the state is closed, but yours? Now you know how we feel. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Anybody else watch the Toy Story 4 trailer last night?
I don't know what to think about it. I feel like I'm overanalyzing it, like trying to expect what is the sad, emotional tug that this little spork character is supposed to be. Like, I feel like, what is this thing supposed to be telling us?
You know what? I don't think I'm that interested in it.
You don't?
Because of what you just said.
Well, there is going to be something.
Because on one level, I really appreciate the Toy Story films and kind of like their exploration of themes and different things like that. But I feel like in a lot of ways, there's such an overwhelming sense of melancholy that lays over Toy Story films. I didn't feel that way about Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 felt way more like an adventure, and it was fun. The first one has it. The third one, Beyond has it.
Sure.
And so it looks like for Toy Story 4, they're just like, well, if you thought Toy Story 3 ripped your heart out of your throat,
get ready for this.
You don't even know how bad it's going to be.
It's like you feel like it's supposed to somehow tell you something about your childhood and something that was wrong, and you just don't realize it yet.
And you know what? I'm not that interested. I'm sure that I'll see it because you do.
You're just going to go see it, yeah.
You do, but I'm tired of movies that are about psychological trauma that are dressed up as children's movies. I'm kind of tired of it. And I think it's why...
You think, though, for children's movies, when they do that, they're doing that for the parents who are taking young children to it?
Yeah, but as a kid...
Because it's not for the kids' age. They're not getting it.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think so?
I will tell you that I can think of lots of movies that I watched as a kid that made me incredibly sad, and I didn't understand why. And as an adult now, I get it.
But I mean, you didn't get it then.
Well, right.
But you knew something was...
You're still getting it, though.
Sure.
Even though you don't get it, like you cannot fully intellectually process why you're feeling the way you're feeling, those emotions still translate. And you know what? Like, I might be done with it.
Oh, no.
I think I might be. You know what is fun? Watch the Toy Story shorts.
Oh, those are good.
And the made-for-TV, like, that stuff is very fun. And I realize life isn't all fun, but sometimes I just find myself like, well, maybe I came to the movies for, like, a good time. And, like, this exploration on existence, mortality, purpose, I don't want it right now.
I guess we'll have to wait to see, though, how far they go with it.
Probably, well, the trailer makes me, I'm crying at the trailer. I'm just like, why were we made? What is the reason?
I want a little sporky guy, too.
I feel like this spork. I just want to jump in some soup.
Yes, exactly. So what's the movie going to do?
I guess rip our hearts out. Did we get a release date?
It is in June.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's in June.
See, what was the last animated movie I saw? Incredibles 2.
Yes.
So Wreck-It Ralph, the second one.
Saw that too.
So for the Wreck-It Ralph, like the second one, I felt like they must have, that seemed old. Like it should have come out years ago.
I agree with that.
It didn't feel like this. So for Toy Story, I just want to know its timeline of like, how long has this thing been in the works? Will it feel like a part of that series, or should it have been years ago, or will it still feel new and fresh and sad? I don't know.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph 2, though. Another great example.
That was,
Like, what? It's about your parents lying to you, trying to keep you from going to college? Like, is that what that was about? Because, like, that's not what I went in there for.
You just wanted something else.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's funny, but after watching it, I had almost bought it. I was so glad I didn't buy it.
One of the only things left that isn't owned by Disney. The Riot on Radio U.
So I'm criticizing Toy Story for being manipulative. Okay, I get it. And I realize it's an unpopular opinion. And yet, I want you to know that the entertainment spectrum is vast. And as a result, you end up with Toy Story on one side and then 911 on the other, which I watched half an episode of 911 and I was like,
is that the TV show?
Yeah, the one that's on Fox. Have you ever watched it?
I have not. I've seen ads for it, but that's about it.
It is basically like a group of people sitting around going, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? Yeah, but how do we make it worse? That's what 911 is about.
It's someone's job to take it to the next level, and that's what they have to do each episode.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Monday night's episode, I didn't watch it. I'm reading about it. Was about a tiger shark that was being transported on the back of a semi.
Stop. You don't even need to say any more than that. That's it.
What?
What happens? All right, keep saying it.
No. Actually, what do you think happens?
So the tiger shark, maybe there's an accident, and the tiger shark will die if they don't get to it in time.
Okay, those are two things that are true.
Or does the tiger shark get out and eat somebody?
Also true.
Also true. Everything?
Everything you just said.
The tiger shark bites someone?
Yep.
So they have to go rescue it enough time, but there's traffic?
And?
In an accident?
They have to rescue the shark and the guy.
Who got bit?
Uh-huh. By the tiger shark.
Why don't we write TV shows?
We really should.
It must be so easy, you know?
And you know what? This could be then, okay, that's the A story. And then the B story is an emotional conflict between, a mother that's trying to take her daughter to rehab, and then the mother the kid bites the mom, but eventually they realize they're just like the shark, and they actually love each other.
Oh, you see the parallel story? Yeah.
They always do that. So, that's the... we just got to workshop it a little bit. Just a little bit, but we've got the foundation that we need. That's what it was about.
You can't help but literally roll your eyes at it.
A tiger shark's on the back of a semi-truck. That's all you need. That's all you need to know. That's amazing.
Well, I'll be nice, though, and since I've never seen 911, which is a TV show, has anybody watched it? Is it actually good?
Well, I watched part of an episode, but, okay, you know what? It's just, wow, I'm watching the video right now. For real. Here's a huge shark, and here's a guy whose arm is caught in the shark.
Don't laugh. It's not right. We should laugh.
It's
not real. It's just a TV show.
We should laugh.
It's just a TV show.
Because it's a land shark. He's being bitten by a land shark.
Things happen. You never know. And that's why we need rescue people to help us.
Oh, man.
Never know when your arm's going to be bit by a shark.
You should never leave the house. Honestly, just stay home.
We don't need to with TV shows like this. We're transported to Different worlds.
The only problem is, like, you're sitting in your living room hanging out. A semi carrying a tiger shark is driving by. It T-bones at an intersection, sending the tiger shark flying into your living room.
You never know.
You don't know.
And now we're prepared if you watch the show.
The Riot was this close from becoming the absolute worst morning show in radio. Yep, they can't even win at losing. It's the worst of The Riot on RadioU.
I am fascinated by the fact that people think the earth is flat and some of the logic behind it.
Yeah.
Some of it is intensely religious. Some of it is intensely scientific in that, like, wait, is it? I mean, I guess you kind of have a point, but come on.
Sometimes when you hear it, you could fall in that hole.
You see where they grab people. And
you can see how that could be possible.
So here's what I always find myself doing. Like, okay, all right. If you got enough people that think the earth is flat, should be pretty easy to prove, right? Like, come on.
Well, some people feel like they've already proved it.
Well, I know. But, again, my argument is, like, if you've got all these people that have now jumped onto the idea that the earth is flat, then it's fine. Like, there are a couple of things that you could do that do not involve a flashlight and a globe that you could do to prove whether or not your theory is correct. And some people are going to do that. There's a group of flat earthers that are planning a trip to Antarctica in 2020 in which they will go to the end of the world. And then by reaching the end of the world, they will prove that the earth is flat.
Are you allowed to do that? Or I thought when you go to Antarctica...
Wait. Nikki, why would they want to keep you from doing that?
I know, that fuels that. But really, like, when you travel to Antarctica, I thought it was controlled and you're going with a group and it's not like, okay, bye, guys, we're just going to go to the edge.
I don't think Antarctica is well defended enough that if you took your boat in a certain direction...
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like you can rent a car. So, I mean, I don't know how it is there. But I would just think it'd be hard.
It seems to me that
they'd have to have private funding.
Well, assuredly. So why don't you just get a plane and fly it over the South Pole?
I don't know.
Right? Like, just fly
That's
right on over it.
That's where the evil is.
Well, I'm already aware of that.
You're not supposed to go there.
You're not.
You'll be unleashing the terror on the earth.
Just go ahead. And you're like, but they'll fly into the wall and die. Oh, well, but the point will be proven.
Yes.
That's what really matters.
Okay. So they're doing that in 2020?
Yeah.
Next year?
Yep. They're going to Antarctica next year, and they're like, we're totally going to prove that the earth is flat. And I want to hear all about it.
Are they making a show with it, or they're just going?
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that they're going to shoot some video. I really hope they shoot some video because I want to see,
some video.
What happens?
I just like seeing Antarctica, so that's got me in.
I mean, does this expedition end in any way other than them eating each other to survive?
Yeah, they're not going to show that. That's when things don't work out.
I don't know the answer to that, but I do want to. Hey, listen, science is predicated upon what? The scientific method and the idea that you take a theory, you design an experiment, and then you revise your theory, et cetera, right? So if their theory is that the earth is flat, design an experiment, show it to me.
That's what they're doing.
That's science.
That's what they want to do.
Go for it.
You just have to wait till next year.
Yeah, and you know what's fun? I have time. Like, I'm not going anywhere.
Hey, that's earlier than some movies we're waiting for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got Avengers coming up in April, and then probably some. So, I mean, it's fine.
Having a bad day? Blame the Riot. Everyone else does. And in fairness, it's probably their fault. RadioU.
Do you like movies? Then listen closely, because I'm about to make your dreams come true. Imagine one low price that you pay every month, and you'll be able to see all the movies you want. One per day, anywhere you want, at almost any time you want.
Just no 3D movies, only 2D.
You know what, Nikki? 3D movies suck anyway.
I know, but still.
Movie Pass
is back.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the thing that won't go away. How is it still around?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this. Movie Pass. Well, wait a minute. Didn't they just have some? No, that was the American Alliance of Football. I was like, didn't somebody just pump $25 million in?
That was not them.
Wrong investment, wrong story.
That different thing. For Movie Pass, if you were around anywhere last year. You heard all the drama with them. And if you were a Riot listener, since Obie used to be a Movie Pass member, you did hear all the drama.
We talked a lot about it.
We did, but it's been a while. And they came out a few months ago with a couple of variations of their Movie Pass of like how many movies you could see, what would you be paying each month. But everybody's like thinking of them as kind of like a joke right now.
Bottom line, they slowly but surely screwed you over. And it's like, if you stuck around, good for you. But in reality... But
I don't know how that company is not still, like, how is it still set up?
I don't know. But they're back, which they didn't technically leave, but they're back with their unlimited movies plan.
Which is what got them in the trouble in the first place.
So for $9.95 a month, you can see unlimited movies, no 3D. And, I mean, I don't know if you're able to...
You can see, like, the same movie more than once now, right?
Well, that's the question, because right now, you can't.
You can't.
So I don't know if that's going to be the case with this particular promotion, but I'm just going to let you know.
Here's the problem.
Here's the catch. You're going to have to pay for a year in advance.
Okay. You're like, what's the problem with that? If you think
they are not going to be here in a year.
Now, everybody said that last year.
But this is different.
If you want your money back, or you probably can't cancel, like if you're willing to roll the dice with your money,
I would not hand Movie Pass $120. This just feels like one last desperate try for them to raise capital.
Yeah, actually it does.
And they're like, if we can get enough people to
give money,
to pay us in advance, then we'll have enough money to get whatever. And when you see how good we're going to do this year, it'll be fine.
This will bring us back. If you want to check out something funny, go to Movie Pass's Facebook page and look at any posting.
Oh, and I didn't do that. I want to do that.
It's a trap memes of everybody just, it became a fun thing last year. Anytime they would post, you just post a meme back at them of, not falling for Movie Pass. So you just can't believe them.
Dude,
it's a life lesson. As a company, you shouldn't do that to your customers and then expect them just to come on back.
Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. It sounds like a great idea, but it's not a great idea at all. Let's see. Justin says, after I canceled my Movie Pass membership, I've had more calls from companies for random stuff where I didn't before.
Oh, so Justin, you think they sold your info?
Oh,
You're sure they did?
I do not in the slightest doubt the truth of that. They've done everything they can to make any money they can to
on
stay.
Your stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Not to mention that time I canceled and then they re-enrolled me. They were just like, oh, welcome back. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
No one did that.
They're like, oh, you didn't know when you clicked that button in the app that was you re-enrolling? I was like, I was uninstalling. Like, yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back. That's what you wanted to do.
You want out. Trust me.
So if you're still a Movie Pass person, that's a new plan. And I think what they said is they're getting rid of the other ones that they came up a few months ago. Mm-hmm. So those all changed too.
Good Lord, have mercy.
It's a mess.
It is.
It's like right, like you're reading a book or you're watching a movie of like, this is the things not to do as a company. And this is them. And they're still around.
Wow. That's all I'm going to say. Wow.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
All you have to do is wish on a star, Nikki.
And you'll be transported to a magical place far away.
And everything is going to come true. And the Walt Disney Company has been wishing on a star. And you know what they wished? They're not supposed to tell you, but I feel like I've been able to infer their wish based on certain things that they're implying. And that is, their wish is that all of the money you have would be given to them.
Oh, wish granted. Ding.
So in exchange for 2 hours of entertainment, we are slowly witnessing the wealth transfer of the people of the world to the Walt Disney Company, which they are then reinvesting in the world by buying up stuff that will further get them our money.
So they're about ready to have is it the transfer of all the Fox stuff?
It's official.
Yeah.
It happened as of 12:01 a.m. Eastern this morning. The Walt Disney Company now owns the Fox, basically, which means that they own almost everything now. So they own Die Hard. Man, let's get, Tower of Terror and transform it into Nakatomi Tower of Terror.
Oh,
perfect. perfect.
No one understands
that.
any of
Just
that.
came to me.
That just
it
came
just
to you. No
popped
one
in
gets
there.
it.
I wasn't planning that.
No one gets that.
Somebody got it.
No one got it.
You got it.
I know, because I'm in this room with you for so
well,
many years.
They're listening to us for years, so they know.
They got it too.
Everybody got it. Come on, everybody in for a hug, all right? Let's endure this together.
So Disney now has control over all the Fox stuff.
Which means, like, the X-Men are back at Disney with Marvel where they belong.
Just means when the upcoming Disney Plus, streaming service happens, you'll be like, what's on there? It's, again, literally everything. Literally everything from everybody.
All the stuffs.
All of everything.
All the stuffs. So that's it. Why doesn't Disney just buy Netflix? Just buy Netflix?
What was the thing where, who owned Netflix in the beginning? Wasn't there something with that? You ever have something in your mind, you're like, you're not sure if this is real, or was it just a rumor?
Most of what we talk about on this show is like that for me.
I thought they had a huge investor who was along those lines in the beginning.
I don't know the answer to that. So
I'll look into it.
Netflix is owned by the Illuminati. The Disney company is owned by the One World government. And I believe they're going to have some sort of a big final confrontation streamed live around the world when Google comes in.
And we should all just have subscriptions to all the services.
Yeah, that. So Kyle wants to know, does that mean that the X-Men will meet the MCU? Well, everybody's speculating that. In fact, I got a text here from Joel that says, have you read the theory that the destruction of the Infinity Stones will cause mutants?
Let's go back. What's the MCU?
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Keep
up, Nikki.
Sorry.
Keep up.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. I just didn't see it put like that before.
Nikki, we can't get where we need to go if I have to keep stopping and explaining things to you.
I just want to make sure that everybody knew what MCU standed for. I wasn't sure.
You know what? If you guys don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything.
Just didn't know.
You got to know what you're talking about. And this is the important stuff, all right? You know what matters in the world today? Not the stuff they are trying to make you think like, pay attention to politics, it's important. It's the movies that matter. It's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that's worth living for anymore.
Well, we'll never forget.
Whatever Disney is doing is all that I care about in the universe. Let's keep talking about it. Let's share our favorite Disney moments.
Now Fox moments.
My own memories are now property of the Walt Disney Company.
Oh, gosh.
Hey, I have this picture of me in my childhood. No, we own that. Sorry.
If you're looking for a peaceful start to your morning, you should look somewhere else. It's The Riot on RadioU.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Don't admit that. He doesn't mean about the show. He means about something else.
It's obviously not the show. I know exactly.
You're a professional, and you know 100% what you're doing.
You know, okay. You know what? Here's my problem. I just want you to know that if you message me, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger,
Hangouts,
Group Me, Hangouts, whatever, I didn't mean to not get back to you. I got too many. Like, it takes me an hour to click through all the different messaging services to see who's contacting me where and what I've missed. Because I'm part of another group, and I'm glad to be a part of it. It's great. It's great. I'm excited about it. Excited about all the opportunities to serve and blah, 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 and whatever. But it was one more messaging service, and that's when I began to realize I don't even know where I'm at anymore.
With all of them?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm so lost right now.
Well,
lost.
Do you have the notifications set to actually notify you, or did you turn them off?
No. I do. I turn the notifications on because, man, I don't even remember what services I have and I'm signed into. If I don't get the notifications, I'm never getting back to you.
See, I just grouped mine all into one folder. So that way I know, it's all in the same area.
You just click all through.
Yeah.
I will tell you, my phone has turned into this shockingly very typically what I would expect of Obadiah, disorganized mess as I have installed app after app after app.
Went crazy.
And it's just crap everywhere. I don't know what's going on.
Well, clean your space.
My digital space?
Take a
It's
moment.
bad
And no,
enough.
that
I mean,
makes you
like,
feel so good when you clean out your digital space.
I don't get you. Like, you know those little things that you get, that little pleasure hormones that you get fired in your brain, endorphins,
feelings.
that when you clean something, you get those?
You don't get those at all?
Heck
oh,
no.
man.
What do I
That's
even
like
care?
When I don't even need to watch a movie, but if I go through and clean out my queue, you're just happy as can be. I'm buzzing. And I didn't even watch them, but you're just like, oh, it feels good. Because I said, I'm not going to watch it. Get it out of there.
Boom. I think you absolutely just hit on one of the key differences between you and me. I don't get that feeling from cleaning up. So when you walk past my desk and you're like, it's so messy, it's because I don't care. The only place in my life that I feel close to what you're talking about is my car. If I keep the interior of my car mostly clean, when I get in my car, I feel like I'm ready to face the day.
Makes you feel better?
Yes. But like if I let my car get too messy, I'm like, I'm a worthless hunk of slime and I hate my life.
See, I have that like with everything.
See,
so
I don't.
It's all the time.
Nope.
Even in the digital world.
Nope. Doesn't even bother me. I'm just like, hey, they're like, hey, Obadiah, remember that mission critical thing I sent you that, the rocket was going to blow up if you didn't answer it? And I'm like, oh, I didn't get that.
I didn't get the notification.
I didn't get that.
So you don't go through and clean out your phone all the time or no, ever?
No.
You don't organize your things into different folders and rename your folders just for kicks? No, you don't do any
really
of that?
do that?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I can, I'm not just saying this. I mean it. I don't understand that.
You want me to go through your phone? I can do it for you. I can organize them for you.
When I say I don't understand it, I mean, I do understand the science of reward.
Yes.
Like the endorphins that are released and blah, blah, blah. But like it explains to me why you're so organized. You find pleasure in it. I find no pleasure in it. It's a hassle and I don't care.
It'll make your phone seem new again. Like it'll give you that feeling.
No, it won't. I don't even want that feeling.
You don't even want it?
Because
all right.
I just spent 10 hours on the phone with Sprint getting my phone set up. I don't need to feel new. I want it to feel old and used.
I just meant when you get on your phone, it just feels better.
I don't know. I got too many apps, too many whatevers.
You go clean them out.
You're listening to the worst of the riot.
Today sucks.
Radio U.
Does anybody think I sound happier?
I think you sound different. Did you enjoy your song of decluttering? Are you still going through your phone?
No, and if you want to know the truth, I think that right now we have stumbled upon part of why I don't like organizing.
You're just unhappy with it?
Well, you know what? When I organize and go ahead, deride, make fun, but I see too many subtleties in things for categorization so that I become overwhelmed with the options. And then I'm like, screw it. I don't want to do this anymore. Oh, you just don't want to do it at all? Yeah. So like, for example, would I put my Facebook Pages Manager and audio recorder in the same folder because I use both of them for work? Or should the Facebook Pages Manager go in a social media folder?
That's social media. You put it with the other social media.
So do I put all of my messengers in one folder, or do I divide the messaging services based upon the people that I contact with those messaging services?
Put them all in the group, so it'd go all in messengers.
But you understand that for you, that's an easy decision. But for me, I could get stuck on that decision.
And then you just don't even do it.
And then I'm like, forget this. It's not even worth it.
Then you throw your phone and you're done.
That is right there. Like
the heart of it.
Yeah, like I have a tendency to really argue with myself over categorizations. Or the other thing that happens, and I've seen Michael get mad at me for this, but I totally do this. This is why if you would come and look at my Google Drive folder or whatever, it seems so disorganized because I will start an organizational pattern, then completely abandon it and start another one.
Sure.
And so it ends up being worse because I quote unquote organized it.
Try to do it.
Yeah. And so I finally have settled on this really stupid, and I know people think it's dumb, but I put the date at the beginning of every single thing that I write or create. So at the very least, they are all sortable by date.
And
I know you could sort them that way anyway, but it forces me to have some uniform naming format.
Sure.
And this just got really boring. I'm bored now. This is boring.
Everybody's different. Everybody is different.
I just don't have it in me, Nikki. I don't like to organize.
Did you see Chase's text?
Chase says, put all your apps in a pile on your bed, tap them all to make them wake up, hold them all individually to see if they spark joy, and get rid of the ones that don't.
That's a Marie Kondo thing.
You know what? That's a good one, Chase. Let's get all the apps out and see what...
Put them all in there.
Nikki, I don't have anything on my phone that sparks joy aside from YouTube.
So then...
The RadioU app. Sorry, you got to make sure I say that.
I know you need to use them, so you just need to go through and make sure that there's not anything that's old, that you don't use anymore. That's been a while.
No, I mean, I deleted a couple games, but I'm keeping Fruit Ninja on here because you never know.
Great.
You never know. But like, here we go. Here's Gmail, Google, Google Maps, Google Pay, Google Plus, GroupMe, Hangouts, Harmony, Instagram, Instapaper, Keep Notes, Layout Maps, Marcus Messages, Messenger.
Stop reading. All right, fine. Stop it.
See?
You're overloading all of us.
I know. But you know what? I love my phone, and I'm glad it's part of my life. It does not bring stress. It just sparks joy.
Okay, all the joy in the world.
I'll tell you what else it sparks. A bonfire in which it disappears forever, and Obadiah lives in a cave and eats grubs.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
through riot.radiou.com.
I don't know what I'm doing.